say?
Yep.
I'm going to take you on the boat. From the water, we're going to go take a look at all the different types of cottage properties so we can really dissect what people should consider before they buy.
You had me at boat.
We couldn't have picked a better day to do this.
It is beautiful out here.
I love the fact that when you're up in cottage country, how, you know, they refer to the front of the cottage or the home is actually lakeside.
Yeah.
So this is no better way to actually go shopping than to come by boat. Otherwise, coming by car, you're actually going to the backyard, so to speak. We're in the city. I love it. It's exactly the opposite. Your driveway's your front,
yeah,
and the fence, of course, is where your backyard is.
Yeah. Just being on the boat and looking at, I could just do this all day, every day, and do this for fun. But when you're looking at homes in an urban environment, you're looking at the curb appeal, and you're driving down the street and you can instantly see the curb appeal of all the homes you're considering. Obviously, you need to be in the water to see the curb appeal of a cottage. And it also, begs the question, what do you want? Because it doesn't take you long to figure out when you come up here, none of them look the same. There's no two cottages alike. They've been built different times by different builders and modified and upgraded and all of that. But there's a lot to consider.
There is, and there's so much, in fact, because we know how hard it is even in the city to find that right property and just what's required. And we say all the time that to take that task all upon yourself and do it solo is a lot of work, and do you really have the time, plus all the legal elements and all the things that we warn and suggest people why they should hire a real estate expert. And no different is it for cottage shopping. Yeah. You need to hire somebody that is the expert in the area, because every area is so uniquely different. Every lake is different, and as you just pointed out, every product, there's nothing the same. So for that reason, you need somebody to help guide you, and that way also when you're coming up and taking the trip, you're actually maximizing your time. And the only way to do that is to truly get an expert that knows the lakes inside and out.
But you know what I've seen too? I think a lot of people come up here and they think they have in their mind exactly what they want. They've got the magazine cutouts and they've got their budget and they've got
this, I want that.
Yeah, I want this. Can you find this for me? And you can't do that. No. You can't create perfection unless you're building from the ground up. That's the only way you can really do that. But if you're coming up here and you're actually buying a cottage, you choose from the best available. From one town to another, you have different rules for what can you do and what you can't do. There's water quality differences from one lake to another, depending on your use. Do you have a sailboat? Do you want a power boat with small recreational vehicles? Do you want to just relax in a quiet area, or do you want to be close to the social scene? Yep. What about where's the booze and where's the food and where's the gas? The proximity to everything. Yes, absolutely. There's so much to consider.
No, and when they come up too, I know that lots of agents have said they'll have a specific wish list, as you had said. This is what I want, and literally this is it. And we know that finding that perfect place is pretty much next to impossible, and you have to settle. And as you had said, one of the things that somebody might come up and say, and this is common, is exposure. I mean, they want a specific exposure. So you have to really weed out what the supply is and try and find that perfect place, because you don't realize that it doesn't mean just because one side of the lake means it has west and the other side has east. We all know that there's many curves and arms in different lake patterns that actually you wouldn't have known yourself. But if you go down that road, actually there are west exposure, for example, if that's what somebody's looking for. The other thing too is you'll have a lot of people that once they get to the cottage, they don't want to get back in their car. I mean, they want to get everywhere by boat. Mm-hmm. So that accessibility to amenities, you need to have an expert to maximize your shopping time and to really show you what fits in the parameters of your wish list. Again, being realistic, doesn't mean you're always going to get what you're hoping for. Usually what they come in asking for, they settle for something completely different.
You need to know your budget.
Yes.
You need to know your location.
Correct.
And you need to have assembled a team of experts.
Yes.
Now what?
I was going to ask you. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, so I would say we're not putting it in any order, but the next thing is to do your due diligence, understanding the product selection, the choices that are out there.
Now you got to go shopping the right way. You got to be looking at cottages from a boat. You need to see the curb appeal and narrow it down that way. And you need to come at buying a waterfront cottage with a complete open mind, because you cannot find picture perfect white picket fence.
For sure. And I think also, do you want a 4-season as opposed to a 3-season? Because they have a different wish list and things that you must consider. If you're wanting to do any renovations or maybe a new build, taking that piece of land that already has an existing cottage that's grandfathered, well, with that in mind, you need to know what the intricacies are with that township, because they differ substantially from place to place.
Ownership. and ownership the right way. Because just like we have people that are neglecting properties in urban environments, there are people that are neglecting cottages in this environment. So ownership the right way means, how do you maintain the value? How do you add value moving forward? And how do you make sure that what is, for most people, a huge investment is one that will actually grow at the fastest rate possible over time, so you can leave a legacy for your family? What are the top toys you need? Because I love this. So that's the fun of owning the cottage. That's the next part.
That's the whole
But we'll
point.
do that on another segment.
We'll try them all out.
Absolutely.
Okay, let's do that.
I'm all for that.
Perfect.
Now let's go for a boat ride just a little faster. Brakes work well.